recall vote. Do you know anything about what's happening with Newsom and the recall?
Well, first of all, in my lifetime, I've watched the governor of California be recalled at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
so it happens a lot. I know that it doesn't catch my attention as much as it used to because it just seems to happen a lot. I don't know much about him. I would imagine he's doing a shitty job.
Doing a terrible job.
There's nothing I've ever heard about living in California that's pleasant. I've visited Los Angeles. It was 3 or 4 of the worst fucking days of my life. The entire town, every single part of it smells like urine. The entire city, and the reason that it smells like urine is because everywhere you look, there's somebody taking a piss.
Right.
I mean,
the videos you see from California are mind-blowing. Just people just fucking on the street. I mean, it's insane.
It's insane.
It's dirty.
Yeah, I would. So, there's no way I would want
what's
to.
What's going on? People are very upset with the way Newsom handled COVID. Like by far, they locked down California longer than any other place in the country.
I'm sure.
And then on top of locking down California, Newsom also went out and did all the things that you weren't allowed to do.
Yeah. A complete fucking
having
hypocrite.
dinner, it was insane. So,
I saw that.
In order for them to it's going to happen, I think September 12th or 14th is what it shows here. It's coming up. Yeah, September 14th is when it's currently set. Now, in order for them to recall them, 50% of people have to go in there and say they want to do the recall. And now, what's frustrating to me is there are several good candidates for this, and I don't even live in California. We don't live there, but the only one that people give a shit about talking about is Caitlyn Jenner, which is frustrating.
Which, by the way,
chance.
By the way, I have seen her interviewed 2 or 3 times, and it is mind numbing. You would think that somebody who's that prominent would have something to say.
No.
Would have be like, all right, I know that I'm the leader. Y'all are counting on me to step up. I'm going to be and look, you're talking about a former Olympic champion. You're talking about somebody who was on TV for years on a very successful TV show.
That's a different person.
Right. I get it. Right.
That person also killed somebody.
I get that. But what I'm saying is you would think with that background, it's still the same human being. It might be a different person, but it's the same human being. You would think with that background, that person would have a little bit of sense of let me prepare. Let me get ready.
No,
look, we do a podcast that 8 people are watching.
That's more than 8 people.
All right, fine. Well, it's good. But I'm saying, I'm not knocking it. But let me tell you this. I prepare all fucking day. Every fucking second I'm awake. I'm getting ready for the next episode to make sure that I'm not just up here spouting bullshit. She's on national television in front of 50 million people at a time on some of the biggest TV shows on Fox, on some of the biggest TV shows on the other news networks, and she does not have one coherent thought to put together. And
You're not wrong.
Look, if Gavin Newsom sucks, which he clearly does.
Where I'm going with this, what I find the most interesting and in what's happening, Gavin Newsom sued the state of California because of this.
All right.
Because there is a statute to the law that he has a certain amount of time to declare what party he's running for. Right? He did not. This is a law, by the way, that he also had a part in enacting.
Of course.
He is not going to be listed as a Democrat on the ballot, because he did not put that in time, right? So he realized that he messed up. He messed up, and he didn't put a Democrat on there. And so he sued the state of California, and they denied it. So he's not going to be listed as a Democrat, and he's freaking furious. Now, what is funny is that it shouldn't matter, but people are going to vote Democrat.
Maybe.
On the most. Maybe. It's freaking California, man.
Well, but they know him too. They know they're familiar with him. He's not some no name. I know who he is, and I'm in Georgia. So I mean, if you're in California, he's on TV. He was married to Guilfoyle. I mean, he's been around politics for a long time. They know who he is. look, to me, I look at that. I see a giant stall tactic by him. I think he knows he's going to lose. There's no way, no matter who you are, Democrat or Republican, you can look at what's going on in California and say to yourself, holy shit, the people in charge are doing a great fucking job. Right. No matter who you are in California, Democrat, Republican, whatever you are, and I know it's a lot of Democrats. I get that. And I'm not a Democrat, so I don't really understand why people are. But I will say, I don't understand. Or when I see something like that, I think of somebody who is trying to just delay the process. He does not think that being a Democrat or whatever is going to make any difference other than he doesn't want it to happen. Because if it does happen, he's going to lose. And he knows he's going to lose. And there's no way anybody is happy with the job that he's doing.
No.
There's no way anybody's supporting. How could anybody be saying, yeah, he did good. No, let's overlook the things that are going on. You can't walk down the street in California without walking through a homeless encampment. They're everywhere. Right. They're literally everywhere. And you can't just arrest them. That's not a solution. First of all, I don't know what a solution is to that much homelessness. I can say for myself, I just this week reestablished myself from 7 years of homelessness. So I know how long it fucking takes. I didn't even consider myself homeless. I lived in my Jeep. I always thought to myself, I've got a home. I'm good. I can tell you just on the ride over here from being homeless and knowing that when I left here, I was going to go to a bed in a nice temperature and I didn't have to worry about whether I was going to be freezing cold or whether I was going to be hot as shit or whether I was going to have something to eat because I got a refrigerator full of food. I can tell you it makes a big difference, and it's not easy for everybody to get to that point. And I don't know what the solution is, but in California, it's out of fucking control. That's the biggest thing I notice about it.
I think this guy right here is the solution.
Who's it?
It's Kevin Paffrath. I've done videos about Kevin Paffrath. Kevin he's 20, I think he's 29 years old. Damn. He moved to California when he was 18 with $1,000 in his pocket. He began his journey in real estate. He bought a house. He ended up flipping the house when the market went up, made some money, became a real estate agent, became a broker. He's a stock investor. He's a YouTuber. The kid's made himself about a net worth of about $30 million.
I'm listening.
And he has
a lot of greed.
It's a good bit of change. But he runs a bunch of courses where he teaches people investing, how to be smart with their money on YouTube. It's like a one-time thing you pay in your lifetime. But he's helped a lot of people out. All right. But he has a lot of really new and good ideas for the state of California. And
what is he?
He's running as a Democrat. He's running as a Democrat.
He's a Democrat. Is he a Democrat, or is he just running as one so he can think it'll make a better chance for him to win?
Yeah, I think he's just doing it as a chance to win. I would say he's really a Democrat. I mean,
if you like him, I find it hard to believe.
Yeah, he's a Democrat. I mean, I do. I think he's got what's frustrating to me is that when you see an article like this one and they talk about the other people running, like this is the only person is Caitlyn Jenner. Right. No chance that she wins.
Well, 0% first of all, let's say this. I don't know where the polls are. I have no idea where the polls are.
I know where they're not.
I will say I would say that my guess would be she has a shot just on name recognition alone. There are people out there that, man, look, let me tell you something. I used to tell all the people I worked with at the restaurant I was at in New York. He used to always look at me and ask me how certain things happen. He would, a friend of mine, he was from the Dominican Republic. His name was Christian, and he was such a great guy, and he was really smart, and he was trying to figure out how to make his life better. And he used to always ask me why things in America were the way they were in America. He asked me that all the time. Right. And I told him, I was like, man, let me tell you something. The average human being is dumb as fuck. The average person is dumb as fuck, and they're not interested in becoming any more intelligent than they already are. I don't understand what it's like to be dumb as fuck. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm not dumb as fuck, and I'm always trying to learn. And I encounter people all the time that have no interest in learning. They have no interest in educating themselves. They have no interest in becoming wiser on the issues. They don't want to understand current events. Right. They don't want to understand politics. And they will go to the polls on that day because their friend told them to, or because they saw it on the news, or because they saw it on the Kardashians told them to. And they will go in there and they will recognize the name Caitlyn Jenner, and they will know who Caitlyn Jenner is, and they will vote for Caitlyn Jenner with no knowledge of what she's going to do as the governor. And I can tell you this from seeing her interviewed. If she becomes the governor of California, California is fucked. California is fucked. Because she doesn't have a single solution for anything. Nothing.
Oh, I said this. I said if Caitlyn Jenner becomes the governor and Nancy Pelosi still reigns over there, there's now 49 states. We're just going to cut it off. We're going to get over there, get your shovel, and just start digging California. It can float off.
You know, the thing about it is, I don't know if it's still the case or not, but I heard not too long ago, and I'm not a California person by any means. I've been there a few times. Everybody's always like, man, California, you should go to LA. You should go to California, man. California, San Francisco, San Diego. Oh, man, fucking great. I've been there. It sucks. There's nothing about it that I like. There's nothing enjoyable. The people are pompous as fuck, or they're either pompous and arrogant as fuck, or they are penniless and living and pissing in the street. And those are the only two extremes of what happens, what exists in California. And they cannot figure it out. They cannot solve it. They're not trying to. Caitlyn Jenner sure as fuck is not going to solve any problem. Gavin Newsom, whoever has been, how do you become an elected official in California? They've re-elected Nancy Pelosi. Take a look at the district where she lives. No. I'm not wrong. I'm just like, there's literally human shit everywhere you step in San Francisco. Human shit. People are shitting on the sidewalk, and the people are like, let's vote her in again.
Yeah, she's doing a great job.
Right.
You know.
That's why I'm saying, when you tell me that Caitlyn Jenner has no chance, I'm telling you, Caitlyn Jenner has a chance because people recognize her name. This dude you're talking about, maybe he could be I'd love to see some young people come in and do something different, man.
For sure.
We need it. I mean, people talk about how lazy and how horrible this next generation is. Here's what I'll tell you about. I know about this next generation because my son's 18 years old. They fucking get along with each other. They get along with each other. And that's more important to them than anything else. They don't give a fuck about a stupid low-paying job, which was ground into my head when I was a fucking kid. They're like, you got to get a fucking job. And I would go get a job, and I'd be like, this is fucking miserable. Right. I'm making no money, and I'm being treated like a fucking turd, and I fucking hate it. And my son he's had a couple different jobs, and he'd never last more than about 3 weeks. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, it was awful. They were treating me like shit. And anyone that did talk to me cussed at me. Most people ignored me. They gave me the worst things to do. I would ask questions. Nobody would answer them. But you know what I've noticed from being around him? He and his friends talk to each other in a way that they don't just sit around putting each other down and insulting each other and being mean to each other and saying shit about other people. They talk and they're friendly and they like each other. They all do. They hang out in groups. You see a group of young people now, you're going to see Black, Asian, Hispanic, white, all hanging out together, having fun with no sense of race or different socioeconomic status at all. They just chill, man. They just all hang out and have a good time. And I think that's good. And if we could learn from them. People insult them and put them down. I think they're wrong. I think they're very wrong. And they are the future. So
I believe, I mean,